already. It's game time. It. Oh well. Okay. I had missed some sleep thinking about a spider I saw at my job. I didn't kill it. I forgot about it at work, then came home to lie down. I started remembering it kept me up. So I got out of bed to get high, take a shot, drink me a beer, smoke me a cigarette. And I'm starting this thing and no. Yeah, that you can do it better. Like it. Oh, you know what? Let's do this, man. Okay.
Becky, this is exactly the situation I wanted to avoid because you know, and I know, and everybody
Whatever.
knows, I would never put my hands on a lady.
Okay, it's
Thankfully,
all right, man. Let's
I
do
got
this.
somebody who will.
AJ Lee. He should have mentioned it at first. I think they can't kill him.
It's only Lee! It's only Lee! Bringing in the Becky Lynch! Becky's it's only Lee! Becky! It was finally
Bang, bang, boom.
Welcome to K100. Yours a download and with one of Iranian tobacco label. We're not chopping it up on the lead. This week we're tuning to the show from WCW, also a comic book creator and Hollywood mover and shaker. Jeff Katz is back. Check out the NFL preview we recorded with Jeff that came out just a few days ago on K100 Sports. And for this go around, Jeff's going to chop it up with the crew about creating content for both the younger and older generations in pro wrestling and beyond. The differences between the past years, the WWE and the NFL, the decline in the last 10 years of major motion picture theater releases, little more sports, little more movies, and little more players. We can nail back on the book about depression, about their social media preferences, some in-ring men, TKO and stock prices, plus we talk about WWE, WWE, AAA, and Dermot. And in the Lucha Libre segment, how we use this faster and the most recent AAA cards. What's coming up this week in the World Series? Plus news and views on Alberto Del Rio and Ryan Martin. All this, plus so much more. And now without further delay, let's hand it off to the master of the World Gems, Tony.
Well, Joe was speaking earlier. Well, we're back with episode 479 of Keeping It 100 with Conan, the mighty
We can do better than that, chick.
Joe. Boom, what it do?
What's going on? What's happening?
Here are the shout-outs, Joe. DJ Trapaholic, Vegas, Cedric Murphy, Indianapolis, Talon Wilkinson, Raleigh, North Carolina, LaFlame, Fall River, Massachusetts, Jim Abrams, originally from Queens, New York, now in Sebastian, Florida, Chris Daniel, Fighting Spirit Pro, Fresno, California.
Let's try to recruit some more people.
Oh, Javi Bernal. He wrestled in NXT. I guess he just got released from Orlando. Shouts out to him. So this week's shout out is very short compared to how we do it next week. You'll have a normal one. But anyways, we gotta shout out these Patreon members. Some of them wrote in comments.
Yeah, this is our monthly $25 tier, so you get all the video, you get all the audio early and unedited, but also for $25.
And a lot of them are offering services, so you can call them. You know, they're Patreon members. You already got something in common.
Yeah, and for the if you're interested in
Hold
joining
up, people.
Patreon now is going to be the home for all the video. We're not going to use as much video on YouTube.
Somebody
cut it up
just
and stuff like that. So if you want to see full video,
Bastard it.
Patreon.com/Conan.
Okay, we got
Also,
another one
$25
coming in.
You get the video, but you also get the opportunity to shout out whatever you want. Or a lot of people use it to plug their business, like Conan said. Or
Okay,
social
Dark
media or
Beer.
podcast.
Let's do
So
it,
you get
y'all.
a monthly plug. It's like a short advertisement for whatever you got going on.
And Joe's an expert in plugging. BG from Mission 415. Shout out to Carlos de la Hernandez for getting into gender fluid dog training business. Huh? As the best in the Armenian Times. This guy's Mexican. And to Discord's okay, so he's ribbing here. And to Discord's Big Country for being named Cleveland's all-time legend. First of all, Big Country. Who? You know who that is?
Yeah, he's a regular. He's a Discordian Patreon guy. Yeah, he's been around a while.
He's the guy. So he's busting balls at Discord. And beating out Jim Brown, Bernie Kosar, and Tommy Callahan for being Cleveland's all-time legend. All right. Hong Kong Tijuana for life of Huntington Beach Valley. Shout out to Hong Kong Tijuana for serving the best Chinese food out. You know the Hong Kong, right?
Is that it's a restaurant in Tijuana?
It's a huge.
Oh, it's like
I can't really get very. did you not so Chinese food, less cuisine working there, man. There's a Big Rick from the Mid-Atlantic. Is that the guy with the...
Yeah,
so he's sending us pictures?
the handlebar mustache, the guy that's always posing.
So shout out to the gym. Lifting weights makes us great. Biceps curls and face down girls. And also pizza, because pizza is awesome. And it's true. Poor Carlos. I'm going to give you a Carlos story in a minute. Carlos Hernandez from Los Angeles, California. The Life of Dogs Club. I'm a certified dog trainer, the Wild Angeles area. I cut puppy classes with every work, eating command. We also focus on building and maintaining proper dog play for healthy big dogs. If you have any kind of questions regarding training such as muzzle, crate, or potty training, get in touch with me at lifeofdogsclub@gmail.com. Also shout out to X-Pac. I guess he lives near X-Pac. He was telling me his wife Angela and their street dog Buster. Yeah, shout out to our boy Buster and X-Pac and Angela. What?
That's just a cool job, man. And how he, I guess, obviously he's a dog lover, and he parlayed it into how he makes his living. That's how you get through.
Yeah, that's fun. So he came to my house last week because he didn't accept me with my stuff. Yeah, okay. And so can you keep my dogs on their obedience? Not to fight each other. And so he came here, bro, and started with a motherfucker. And he was out there with the dogs. I was watching from inside and all that. And you know, you can tell he loves dogs, which you should. He took him for a walk, took him for a fight. Then all of a sudden, he got, I forgot to tell him, he got what do you call this, one leash and another leash. So he was holding both dogs at the same time. And for some reason, they get jealous when that happens. Bro, they got into a humongous fight, and I don't have no strength in one arm. So thank God I had a friend of mine in the house. And bro, he tried to break them up. I can't believe as a trainer he would do that, but he did. He tried to break them up, trying to separate them. One of the
Let's go.
you know, and so we lowered the dog and go. So we administered first aid, and then we continued to work, and we also thank you, Carlos. The mayor that had a K100 to save me.
Woo!
Shout out to my wife who just celebrated her 35th birthday. Would have been nice if you sent her name so we could shout her out. Do it next letter, please. After next month will be our 1 year wedding anniversary. Exciting time in the mayor's household. I fully expect all of that to get buried. Yeah, you just got buried. That you didn't mention your wife's name. Jason Baylor from Ames, Iowa. Shout out to Hulk Hogan. Thanks for the childhood memories. 20
Let's get him.
Hall of Fame, former all-time touchdown leader, 100 for himself, legendary quarterback, Joe Mayer.
I guess he shot himself out, and then Mark Jones his shot. That's it, one of his players.
He said, also like to shout out to Pennsylvania Stars pass pitch, Sophie Maitland. We had 400 on the buck. And,
Yeah, we getting it in.
16-7 with a 2.37 ERA for a team that finished third place at USA Nationals in Johnson City, Tennessee. Well, congratulations on that. And Sophie sounds like what we see a lot in sports, those two-way players. You know, she pitches and she hits. The whole time.
Yeah.
Adrian from the Heat nightclub in Melbourne, Australia, long-time fan, long-time listener. Just want to shout out the Sri Lanka girl from TNA. Let's say successfully. How successful liposuction surgery. Hopefully she gets another chance in either TNA or AAA. Do you remember that story?
I remember you telling me. Yeah, I think I might have even been listening for the first time it was told back in the day when MLW.
Did you find it too hard?
MLW, unless a listener has some, I've been sent some on through the years, but you can't find them. They've been scrapped out. When people, so if you ever let them go, right? Get a lot of people go, I used to listen to MLW, it's like, that was 12 years ago, yeah. That was fucking super raw, too. And that's what I understand. You know, we get emails every now and then where someone's like, look, rough week, if you guys get me through in the morning and I'm driving with, I completely understand it because I wasn't a detective that was started a podcasting thing. My whole day on the forklift, loading trucks, or do whatever, I had an earphone, MLW radio, everything. You guys, I listened to the Voters Room, I listened to Greeny, Greenfield, I listened to Ford, I listened to Sullivan, and I listened to Colt and Hoffman. And that was it. That was a cool show. The great thing about that is you don't so much more about the business with you. I did, and yeah, that Raiders one was killer for it. I agree with it. So that's what the real good Greenfield at MVP. Well, before it was them, they did one with you, Gabe, myself, and Sports. And then the next one was like Greenfield and you guys. And then it changed to its own show. Yeah, but originally you guys did it. Never. That was good. Here you and Gabe. Yeah. So it's funny too, because if anybody has those MLW articles,
Hey!
occasion,
Let me get that one more
you
time.
would hear next question from Joe Phoenix. I was even writing. I was a mailbag. Back in the MLW radio days. Yeah.
Oh, we can get this one, for sure.
But anyways, so the Sri Lankan girl, we're gonna try to find it. But basically, what it was is I had just gotten to TNA and formed LAX.
Yep.
And then we had a girl in the group originally called Diamante, and they put her in the match. And I remember she was a student of what's that girl that was married to Luke Gallows? Oh shit, I'll get it. Amber O'Neil.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
She's good friends with me, and she was like, "Yeah, this is my girl," and da da da, and let's try to make sure she looks good and all this. I go, sure, and I talked to Diamante. Anyways, they went in there, and then this girl took off her top or jacket or whatever, and she had like a gut.
Yeah.
And I kept like doing the whole thing, just bearing her. Yeah, get some liposuction, you're on TV, blah, 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 just kind of being a dick, but I was a heel, And it was kind of a funny story because I forgot everything about it, but that's why it'd be nice to hear it again. So they gave her hell so much so that Amber told me she quit, okay? And then later on, she told me she was a model or something. Well, so anyways, that's the Sri Lankan story for those of you that don't know. Yeah. Let me see. We got one thing on YouTube. But how sad is that a movie executive, right, who watches a lot of
movies, I'm ready now.
Tell us any good movies.
Right. And I watch a lot of the movie.
All right, join. All right, we wait. All right, let's do it.
They were saying 10 years ago.
Come on, y'all, one more time.
Turn people off. Watch out. So now they kind of, they enjoy that. You wanted to make Marvel nothing but female superheroes. Well, look how that turned out. We tried to tell you and stuff. And now they're trying to switch back. I saw an article that said Disney revamps departments for interest in 18 to 25 males. And all these guys on YouTube were like, guys, you bought Star Wars and Marvel. You had them, and you fucked it up. So now they're trying to create new franchises for the male audience. See how that goes.
I just feel there's too many smart people in Hollywood that want to make a lot of money and are seeing what the trends are, that somebody's going to take a chance and just do something edgy and that people like, you know what I'm saying? And then everybody will copycat him, and hopefully the movie industry will be, can't believe it, bro, because I remember my whole childhood, my teenage years, I mean, always going to a movie, there was always a good movie out there, Now it's, bro, I used to go to the movies at now.
I remember when I was young, maybe it's exactly the same because we still had a good collection of movies back then. I remember seeing, Terminator 2, Independence Day, Seven, probably before I should have seen it. Groundhog Day was a good comedy. Major League, all this shit came out in the 90s. And I don't know,
all the Tarantino shit, Goodfellas, Casino.
Yep.
I mean, there was so many great movies still in the 90s. And it's almost like that. Like what movie to be fell off like 2003 around there.
Yeah.
Like I feel movies started to fall off that year, maybe 2008.
You know what happened? Then I'm trying to keep this brother, but in the history of movies, it's like people, if you're a cinephile, had a problem in like the late 60s, early 70s. This is all bullshit. So what happened after that? You get a taxi driver, you get a deer hunter, you get and then the shit changes. Then you have 10 years of good movies. In the 80s, people were like, it's all Stallone making bad action now, and where's the real movies at? And then you had your Tarantino coming out, your Kevin Smith, and your Tony Scott movies and all this. And I think we're due for like a little renaissance there in the movies.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah. All right, so this is our paid YouTube members. Mark A. Hicks, the second, Free the Florida 2, Warren Tyus.
Oh, y'all get closer.
Paint for shit. Chiefdom, Strength Addiction, Rush Hour Soul. Our subscriber count, as we're on our way to get that is 69,000. Our viewer count is over 60 million. And I want to talk to you about a new feature that YouTube has. Which will help enhance fan engagement and help creators gain recognition on YouTube. That is a new way for viewers and YouTube followers to help the channel get more recognition and grow. Hype is now live in 39 countries, and believe me, we get listened to in just about every country. Yep. Including the US, UK, Japan, Korea, Indonesia, and India. So fans worldwide can help creators grow. What do you get out of this, Joe?
So I actually was checking it out after you sent me some info on the computer and whatnot. And I was on there today, and I go, here's what you do. If you enjoy a particular K100 YouTube clip, and you know we put out daily clips, multiple.
Get out of this shit.
When you watch, you're like, wow, that was really good. The comment section, you just slide to the right. There's the ability to click on type, and there's an amount of type points. That's how you feel like that's it. How much type, the like videos are good. It was like, oh, give this 13 type, boom, you click on it. And what it does is it increases the visibility of the video. So instead of, we're not trying for everybody to do over the top of this, but we're not, using this. This is legitimate ways for videos to get seen without any of the video. So if you really like it, to keep on more videos, your way to the hype button there, you click on it, it'll hype points, and our videos will go up in the listings, and more people will see them.
All right, and also there's a hype button under the video.
Yeah, yep.
You can hype up to 3 videos a week. The videos that viewers select will show a hype badge for better visibility. YouTube users can filter their home feed by a new hyped category. What does that mean?
It means the ones that get hyped the most, if you want to see it, you just click your hype filter and it'll show you equal. Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Yep. Notification will be sent when videos you have hyped approach the leaderboard. Dedicated fans can earn a hype star badge monthly. How cool is that? Now it says here, you know how he puts film recommendations? Okay, so we talked this with, I just want to say this real quick. We talked a little bit with Jeff Talks about Superman, right? Where he said he liked some stuff that was going to hurt you. But really, with general story, I mean, like I said, I was not a big fan of Superman Boss. So, newspaper editor, the disclosure, fun, with that hard-ass demeanor. He's not black. And this is not a racial thing. I just grew up watching. It just feels like DEI kind of thing, And I do. The other one, I thought James Gunn, he's the guy that wrote and directed Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad. Yeah, he's stuck in. Very smart, stuck in Cena, okay, as Peacemaker. He does a cameo. And then I had to double check when I got home, because I kept going, this guy looks like, I think he was Superman's dad. And I was like, this guy looks like Bradley Cooper. The other girl looks like Lady Gaga.
Exactly.
So I started to
yes,
Bradley Cooper is the dad. And some chick, some foreign girl that I've never heard of, his mom, right? Yeah. But yeah, I did not like that movie.
That's fun that he stuck Cena in there as Peacemaker, because I haven't seen it. It looks good. It looks like it's interesting and different and funny. But some of the critics are like, leave your universe with nits on a weird way, because if you're someone else from Superman in the theater, and you come home and you put on Peacemaker episode 1, and it starts with Peacemaker's down and out, and he's having like a fuel orgy, and people are like, how does that connect with your white bread Superman kind of universe where it's all happy and
I don't read critics or that. I usually go with people that I like their taste, their taste in film writing, and I usually ask those people.
Damn.
Sometimes I'll go with your recommendation. You have been off on some stuff, but you have been spot on others. So with you, it's almost like a coin flip.
Yeah, but I remember the first movie I really pushed on here, I just started, was I was telling you to watch this for to get it. And it was the first trailer for it. It was like really shiny stuff. Everything else I've seen is fucking great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
You have a lot of them right.
yeah, swing and a miss here.
He's also recommending, you know, how he weekly recommends a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's written in, so I'm going to try this one more time. Has anybody seen 2007's Funny People? Steve, was it good?
I liked it. It's a little long for a comedy, but it's like Adam Sandler's a comedian and he finds out he has an illness. And it's a comedy, but it's kind of a drama. He's looking for an ex-girlfriend. There's a movie recommended. I'd recommend it. Yeah, Jonah Hill's very funny in it. And so Seth Rogen's good too.
Okay, he's not. The other one is Steve Martin's Leap of Faith from 1992.
Yeah, I only saw that like in 92. I don't remember. I think it was funny. Steve Martin's kind of awesome.
The Naked Gun remake, which according to Jeff Katz, he goes, it wasn't as good as the first one, but yeah, you know,
Yeah, what's it gonna be?
what movies usually, yeah.
I'll catch it when it streams. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll catch you. Yeah, I'll catch you. What? When it streams also. Okay, the other one is he recommends Fantastic Four on IMAX. I might go see that because I was kind of Fantastic Four also Predator 2, which I have seen and it was good, and The Disaster Artist. So if anybody's seen The Disaster Artist, Funny People, Leap of Faith, or The Fantastic Four, you write into the mailbag and let us know your thoughts at k100questions@gmail.com.
Guys, you've probably heard of Ragnar Cialis, and maybe we can try them. But are you looking for something beyond the usual pills? Meet Regia Ready. Other companies rely on similar ingredients for blood flow, but Regia Ready is the next generation prescription treatment designed to help amplify arousal in the brain and increase blood flow. If the usual pills still aren't doing the trick, Regia Ready could be your answer. The 3-in-1 formula dissolves into the tongue through blood fast. You'll be ready in just 15 minutes on average. And it's up to me after 36 hours. In control in the management. In proof, over 150,000 men have made the switch, and you can read their customer reviews right on the site. Getting started is simple. Regia connects you with a board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, the treatment ships quickly to your door. Connect with the provider at Regia.com/K100 to see if a Regia Ready prescription is right for you. Use the code K100 to get 15% off today. That's RUGIET.com/K100 and the promo code K100 to get 50%
Oh, I skipped the movie. They're blocked off, concentrating on taking that chopper down.
Kids, right? And so you gotta put the kids, the
Well,
fans are going to watch the show anyway. It's their habit. So you go, the funny thing is, if you're going to show for kids, if you watch like a show of this, they're like that right. And it's like, that's what you're supposed to do things right. So, the next one, the smartest things I've ever heard. One who runs Friday Night at One Fast and the radio coming back to it for years. He was fascinated with that.
What's going on, Sean?
Think of this, it's not 100% right. When you're a little girl, you want to watch movies about Glacier, you want to watch a little at the minimum 2 years after the future. I'm not a little, that's really dope and everything. To do it. So, that's really good to know.
Oh, he sent her over. I heard that scream. That shit was funny.
The days are confused.
race or they kind of going to have it. It's like, really? Because it really is. You know what's funny too? Because it goes, he's just like the thing about his fist down. And it's like, you can talk to the social media part. You can talk to basketball. I'm sorry to think, right? So they're on their phones all the time, so they're giving clips when they do young kids, right? But it's funny, I asked this question, I'm only asking this yet, because we have this on the show, we're like, so you know what the problem at WWE because it's the one making it was wrong. If it was not worth it, we paid a $2 million, right? Yeah. Then I asked, like, you know, how much, so there was just a loss lead, but they lost too much for them to, you know, to continue, right? So then, you know, when you look at the rights deal with Fox in the NFL, right? How much money do you think Fox
It's right in front of you. What are you doing, man? Are you trying to find smoke coming down too? You shit yourself out.
At a percentage level, probably comparable, but the difference is the advertiser. How much do you think for just the Fox NFC specific at a yearly level? Right. I mean, it's a billion. They lose $400 million a year.
You gotta do that to us.
But it's funny because everybody's like, yeah, well, they lost money with
You can use that other
They
kind.
lose money on live entertainment. But that value of the live entertainment is supposedly what they're buying into for a loss. And the $1 has prestige. Exactly. Give all this other stuff. But they're going to do a loss.
Well, that's still got it.
They must lose money on these things. Yeah, I would like to see the map on that for that Georgia Island. Yeah, I don't know. Where did you see that? I don't know.
Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. So why do the company, okay, so prestige is one thing. I don't want to be known as prestigious and be losing money. Why don't they continue if they're losing $400 million?
That's another first saw that because it says here Fox generates enormous advertising revenue from the benefits and advertising income means the deal is seen as problematic.
But they lose money.
Not only that, your eyes are telling you that everywhere they go, if they go on Christmas Day, if they do that, if they do, they're always good. You know,
That's just bullshit.
On these other platforms, you see the Fox symbol up in the corner of the screen when it's like all these things are going. It's like that brand is getting out there.
Oh, it's dumb me. This shit's hefty.
The rights deal, supposedly, is what I'm saying. Well, wait, if it's only make $400 million, I got it. We wouldn't certainly
They get $800 million in gross revenue from the Super Bowl alone.
right. We only got enough one
You
submarine.
gotta remember, that's the gun I gotta use.
Publicly available figures.
In terms of the lead deal, the NFL is the most valuable thing that there is. So I would also
See him claiming the letter. I mean, running up the steps. Yep.
They overpay 100%. I'll give you another one. WNBA, they've been stretched to death. There's something to put on. Dude, this has nothing to be, and I know you don't think this, but this has nothing with me being misogynist. Bro, they get so much love from ESPN that it's ridiculous. I literally have tuned in to ESPN to watch a playoff result. I think it was a baseball or basketball, and they put a normal WNBA highlight before that. And I go, what the fuck is this? That's what you're to see what this WWE. If you're going to look at the sports somewhere, I saw they did one where I see that every week this year, which is fucking awesome. And let me tell you why. Because I wanted to see, what's the last one they just had on Saturday? The show The Paris, right? The Flash and right. So I hadn't seen it yet. I recorded it, right?
Behind you.
Watching it again, I watched the highlights, and these motherfuckers gave me a recap of the whole show. And I was like, awesome, brilliant, right? Because, you know, we're all ESPN old heads. You know, they never used to talk about wrestling. No, this is a huge, right. Even Dana White used to bury it, remember? This is a big deal. You got to give these guys credit for the respectability and just fucking, you know what I'm saying? They've done a tremendous job, Nick Khan
If I recall correctly, I think the first time I was ever on this, I think Nick is in like the top 3 smartest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Someone being funny, I believe that had board itself.
When I was a job, bro, I actually got to talk to him, right? Not only is he super intelligent,
If you put on your Mount Rushmore smartest people you met, Jeff, would you believe Tony and Ford that should have been Nick Hunt? If I'm ranking people in this conversation, sure.
so
Dark Hunter
here's
left.
the other part. Huge wrestling, huge sports fan, so you're over with me with the power, right?
You can talk about anything you like.
And dude, stupid, classy, and
That's not what
confident.
it's looking.
It's you extra stars because you're so used to everybody lifting your nuts up. You know what
I'll give you a quick. I don't think I told this if I did before. So I was at lunch. I was living in New York at the time. And I had lunch with Tron Keller, who is a legend. And Tron Keller was, thank you very much, classic Conan, who I needed that on the
I mean?
tonight. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
He was a legendary like radio executive at ESPN Radio in the modern sense. He built Tron was really the guy. And so I had moved to New York with him, and they were doing some stuff for ESPN New York as a background for some restaurant called Columbus Circle. And who comes walking in? But Nick Khan, who is at that point still at CAA, and he sees us having lunch, and he buys our lunch for us. Like, he comes over and says hello because he knows us both well. And Nick's the one who got me into the ESPN originally, but then I said, no, your lunch is paid for. Well, we got to get the bill because Nick could pick up the lunch. So, like, he is both the deal makers at ESPN. He has, not just that, half of the on-air talent at Fox and ESPN were placed there. They were wrecked by Nick at a point in time. And so you have got now, through him as a vehicle, a level of mainstream sports credibility. He's giving them the let's keep that on there, guys. Take that on ESPN now.
Here's
That's why they made it to sports news.
the one great thing.
Emmanuel, too, but Nick.
Here's the great thing about Nick, bro.
How much is it?
As you know, most deals, a lot of them hinges on likability.
Okay.
You like the other person you're working with, because if you finish the deal, right, and I've been in this situation, I'm sure you have too. You go, so what do you think? You go, fuck that guy. We don't talk to you in that business with it.
Ain't nobody around us, you know. Safety.
And the garbage store, and like I said, that to support him. He said, I don't know if you know this, half the time he's business, like a major gift, and you know, like, right there, it's just himself. That's made up.
We were half an hour. We're doing a horror movie. It's happening, the distributor is talking to, and the filmmakers. I don't think they did like a full film, but they talked about the story. Actually, oh, he's a fan of this or that, but like came down to the distributor because I don't know that's going to be either.
Right. Is that the guy that directed the second movie?
No, the last one, those were Tim Story both. Right? Him and this one.
No, the other one, the 2015 one.
Oh no, that guy, it's fine. Yeah. I must have had for like 2 seconds once. He made a movie after that. He made like I think a
Move out my way, you sons of bitches.
One last thing before we start the football thing, because you're a movie guy, movie buff, just like us, all 3 of us. And so, yesterday, we saw a clip, very famous clip, if I'm sure you remember from Dirty Harry, where they not only this practice and they're doing like
We're going to recruit for these answer the question, right?
Remember that scene?
Let's get through the whole charity and make it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Naked Gun yet. I probably haven't seen it.
The original Naked Gun, the
That's great. That's great. Okay, so I gotta rewatch that. So it was just a 4-minute clip, right? The camera shots, every actor was incredible. Clint is one of the best of all time. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, I haven't seen, and I'm sure some movie is slipping my mind, but I haven't seen a movie with something as good as that scene in years. It's really, and we always bring this up to you, and I know you're not the spokesman for the movie industry, but it's very frustrating that everything I see sucks or is not that good. I'll give you another example. Did you see Superman?
I did.
Okay, what did you think of that movie?
So I'm like, I, it hit him. I was mezzo on it. There were things in it I like. I tend to lean more
What
like lighter,
mezzo?
mixed. I like things.
Mixed.
I like things that there were things that didn't land for me.
Right.
There were things.
Bodyguard,
I'll put it
huh?
this way, though. Because I know this is like Zack
Bodyguard,
Snyder's
that bitch.
I lean closer to Gunn's take of Superman not being grim and gritty, because that's
Right.
not what Superman's not that, right?
Right.
He got his ass kicked a little too much for me. I
Right.
wanted him to at the end, but and I thought he could have put a couple characters to their benefit. But like those are quibbles. But it was fine. I'm superheroed out in general.
Too much heat on Superman was pretty much a common criticism. So we had heard a rant.
You need to come.
Some guy did a rant that we put on the show.
Bitch.
My friend, so he was mad about that. So I knew going in what to expect. But I'm like you, there were some parts that I liked.
Bitch, I blew your
I
head
didn't
off.
like. I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't recommend it. But then I see people like Shane Helms, who's a huge, you know, he's like, you want to watch it again, and I'm like,
Well, you know what that is?
Look at me.
For DC Comics, I'm more of I'm as a comic reader.
Splattered your fucking brains.
35 DC Marvel. Really?
Nah, splatter your brains teeth. Again, bitch.
I subscribed to the books from both, but I was weirdly sort of a bit more of the flip from the traditional. I subscribe to a lot. He's I think responding to like I gotta get that in. It's like a comic accurate metamorpho on the big screen. It's like,
Okay, where's that
I can't
shit?
believe I'm seeing that. Or Guy Gardner. Like, I can't believe I'm seeing Guy Gardner in a movie. So, like, someone who grew up reading Justice League International.
right.
Where Guy Gardner's a great character. And so Guy Gardner's the Green Lantern with the red hair.
Oh, okay, yeah, but he was kind of weird. He was kind of dickish.
But that's who he is in the comics. He's a prick.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's the same thing with me. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Spider-Man?
Of course.
Okay, so if you remember, Spider-Man was witty. He was cool. He wasn't a fucking nerd like this guy. He looked like a fucking beta cuck. You know, like I liked when he turned into Black Spider-Man.
We got
And
that
to
in the
me-
suit.
Right, and to me, Spider-Man comic was more closely like Deadpool. You know, he was smart and
He was kicking ass.
like for example, he would put somebody in the web thing, right, and he'd have them all. And
Like the beta,
he'd
huh?
go, yeah, so and so there, and he'd go, he's all tied up.
Yeah, right.
You know what's funny too is these days.
What is that fucking note?
I wouldn't want to say the art, but the artistic expression of like actors these days is that there's not, as you see over like the past 20 years, it seems like ruggedly handsome, like the ruggedness and like masculinity is kind of frowned upon. So like all that new actors are kind of like metrosexual a little bit, kind of, they're all like in the scene and like we don't, there's no like Clint Eastwoods. So the couple,
You're hitting on something.
Right.
I brought this up, and it's do you guys where you each live? Who is the major movie theater chain?
AMC.
Is AMC for you? Is AMC for you?
Where I live is AMC.
Okay, so same thing. I a couple months ago finally signed up for AMC A, and
Right.
I just did it because I'm busy. We are lucky enough to be busy doing movie stuff where I have to see everything now.
Right.
Just to be, which is
Part of
great.
your job.
God bless. I have to. I used to do it, and now I really have to do it again.
Right.
And so, A-List is a tremendous value. It pays for itself very fast. I have seen basically every major studio release that's come out since Superman was why I signed up for it. Because I wanted to go check it out. And an IMAX ticket in LA was like
Where's
$30,
that ticket?
which is insane.
Right.
And so, as a result of seeing everything, what I'm looking for is like, oh, that was a surprisingly, like I saw Relay, and I was like, that doesn't quite stick the landing, but it's a pretty good movie, and it's not a movie I would have seen. Or I'll go to see. Okay, well, I'll use Weapons as an example to Conan's point. So Weapons, and again, we're in business with New Line.
Where's
so,
that
like,
fucking
full
movie?
disclosure. Go look at like Josh Brolin in Weapons, and I think the
Brolin's
thing that that works. It was going to be Pedro Pascal originally. And
Right, yeah, right.
The movie
But he was doing
benefited.
Fantastic Four or something.
Oh,
Well,
James.
he's in 800 movies. And
Right.
Yeah, The Last of Us. The
It
Michael
is
Caine of this era.
100. It is 100. That's a disservice to Michael Caine, and that's not even a knock to Pedro Pascal.
who I would work with. Like Michael Caine's Michael.
Right. You see how diplomatic he is? That's not enough because I would work with
Right,
him.
I mean, I'm not convinced he's a draw necessarily,
Right.
but like,
So far.
but there was always an old joke. Michael Caine was so busy he was in my wedding movie. Yeah, right. He's like a big Oscar because he was making jobs at the same time and all. If you go watch Brolin and Leopard, like Brolin, it's to the movie's benefit that they have Brolin instead of Pitts because he is an old school kind of guy.
Right.
Where's Canoe?
Right, his dad was an actor.
I just finally saw, and I'll say this my white way, so funny correct me, Sicario.
That's a good movie.
And,
It's a really good movie.
Ain't nowhere on this chair.
Really good movie.
Yeah, they don't make shit like that anymore, bro. Is there okay?
Oh, I think I found it.
I think you kind of know what. Let me tell you one last thing that had you.
Oh, I was supposed to guess it.
Relays, when it's digital, at least by you, is a pretty good.
Let me explain to you my theory on bad endings. To me, if the movie has a bad ending, it wasn't a good movie. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, this movie's really good, but oh, I just won't watch it. But I will say this.
Would back you up.
Let me tell you something that pissed me off, and maybe it didn't piss you off, but I don't like this at all. Remember the guy that was playing the? Did you ever watch The Wire?
Yeah, oh yeah. Only once though. I'm not like a hardcore Wire.
The Wire is great. So, anyways, I just rewatched it. So the guy that played Bunk, the black guy, that was a partner of the white guy, Courtney.
Idris Elba is
Yeah, just
Wendell Pierce. Oh, Wendell Pierce. It's Terry White. Yes, Terry White.
Right, and Superman is his boss, right? And I'm not a big fan of having him black. I like, how I grew up watching it, you know what I'm saying? I don't like when they do that. But anyway, is there any movie you can recommend to me for this year that you think I would like?
This movie is down the middle. You've seen it 100 times before, but it is entertaining for what it is, and everybody in it is likable. So I recommend that. Javier Bardem. They make Brad Pitt look great. Those are old school guys, right? Yeah,
Always.
everything's old.
I was watching. I got into this thing where for some reason Brad Pitt was showing up on Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and they always take care of him in the movie. He's always cool. He always has witty lines.
He's protecting himself.
Yeah.
So this is one where it's like you kind of know the ending the minute the movie starts, but it's well done for what it is. The other one, like that's kind of a surprise was this movie Relay that I went completely blind on, and it's basically one of the things that is like a whistleblower. Like you see it, you find documents from a company, and it's going to go blow the whistle, but she gets second thought and has to go to a fixer who is kind of the guy who is the middleman between the companies and the deal making and the whistleblower. And it's Riz Ahmed is the guy, it's the main guy, and then the guy who's actually really good, who I've never been blown away by, but that's the Sam Worthington, who's in the Avatar movie. He's the other guy trying to kind of negotiate it out, and it doesn't quite land, but it was just a kind of as in a solid thriller. And of the bunch, that's kind of like I saw caught stealing over the weekend. I looked at it. Like I was making fun. It's 5 or 6 that really land, but you can't compare it to the original.
Two other questions before we go to the real quick. Have you seen any screenings or anything of Smashing Machine yet?
Very cool.
Okay, and have you seen or heard anything about this movie that I've seen or seen on YouTube, The Primitive War?
So only the critical drinker I know did a video of it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's kind of like a throwback and a finale.
Yeah, what it is, Conan, is the Vietnam War, they sent in the special unit, like the team they sent in to go when Predator was there, Except when they get there, they realize they gotta take down prehistoric monsters and dinosaurs and shit. And it sounds stupid, but to me the trailer and stuff looks really good. And then like Jeff said, it's a throwback. Okay. Rambo versus the dinosaurs.
No shade, I probably will know about stuff. But
Yeah.
did you see a movie called The Order?
Well, there's an older movie.
No, the new one.
Who's in it?
Let me look.
That title is familiar. I don't think so. Because there's an old, Heath Ledger, I think, was in a movie called The Order. But this is
Yeah. Oh, is this you got the new episode of the Nick the Cowboy? Yeah. I haven't seen it. I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, so did I.
That's like things like the white supremacist
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
I believe that I've heard that that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's a good.
it's very like what's happening today in the United States.
Like Hulk was a good actor, yet weirdly I got through for again Gene Hackman. You know what it was. But like I don't know. It's like Superman things hit and miss. For me,
Who sure the power is over this?
Oh, you whoever tapped that thing is really.
Huh?
I didn't see Game of Thrones or the spin-off. That's all.
We're gonna be fine. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Great chatting with you guys. Thanks. Twitter, worldwide, Instagram. Everybody's at Oasis this weekend. I'll be there Saturday night for Oasis. Alright. We have folks out there too soon. I'll be pretty soon. Watching movies. I will also have WWE was nice enough to invite us to Survivor Series.
Is that in San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
We'll hook up for sure, and we'll be seeing Dom and Daniel as well. I think we'll have that.
Yeah, so you're a friend of the show. Old-time listeners know who you are. But we've got a lot of new listeners because viewership's been going up. Just give people a brief rundown of your background, so if they want to hit you up, they know what the. Obviously, you like sports, so you can go shop it up for sports. And
Yeah, I have a weird background since I was having Conan and Bronx because I was a teenager in WCW back in the day. And everyone that was able to follow that into the movie industry as an executive at studios. Now the years of like making movies. I'm very busy. It's hilarious, and like this action around us doesn't mean it's busy about the time. So now just producing stuff, and if you like folks that have like a movie with this. So let me ask you two good questions for you. So it started out a lot of people were leaving California because they were given those movie credits, right? But now Newsom did something to lead more firmly to the film industry. Do I have that right? I'm skeptical that it's going to work because it's still in like New York State stuff. I mean, the one example I'll give you on that, Netflix is building a big facility in New Jersey. And they are having people in some cases rewrite to fit New York so they can shoot it in Jersey. If they're building that there, they at one point Vegas looked like it was going to get stages. I don't think that's going to happen. I could be anything.
Wasn't there a big movie company / production company? Weren't they setting up shop in Texas and about Anaheim, Harrison?
Well, they have a big rebate with
What was she waiting?
So they'll go wherever the deal is. Like the horror movie we're having the meeting with today, they're talking about doing it at Lake.
And you know how I look at how I look at the movie industry, cats? Like wrestling or like records. So before you had all these music companies that dominated and they were the only ones that distributed it, they were whatever. And now you could go on YouTube and be your own fucking thing, right? And same thing with movies. Before, you had MGM and all the big ones, and now you have, Amazon and Netflix and Matthew McConaughey and this guy and that guy and J.J. Abrams and you know what I'm saying? There's so many other places to work.
Hey, bitches.
Content easier in a lot of ways. Getting it distributed at a bigger level is the trickier thing because you just had you're still in the middle of playing out the market disruption that was caused by strike, COVID, the streaming explosion, the model being upended. The one thing I will say that's good is I think that the talent has finally realized that, and there are exceptions, like Netflix's model is their model, but that movies that get that theatrical piece first are the way that Exorcist is a perfect example. Like if that movie had done or whatever, we wouldn't be talking about it. Yet here in it's been a couple of years and it was on its Flix before or whatever. It was in the top 10 streaming sector or entertainment somewhere in the world. Stereo acceptance every week at home entertainment, right? And so it is only because it had that theatrical and pretty big international that behind the chain again. Whereas before they would have taken it, wrapped it on Hulu, right? So that was still, and but Paramount is an example. They will not make originals for Paramount Plus anymore. Those are not going to be done.
Yeah, because, you know this, Jeff, it's perception. Just as a Johnny movies, whether or not, if it's not released in the theater, perception immediately is,
they just dumped on the team because they didn't think it could make any money. They didn't think it was good. And it's not that it was moving from the inside baseball world. So Dan Bain, who worked for team, has known Dan for a while, right? And I think my producers had the Sophie's having a good game coming up, and we want to have something for John. And the thing that we're talking about, maybe a couple of ideas for him. But one of the things I think is really interesting is that John has played very heavily with the screenings, right? Like, look at the movie he just did with the Dissolva, like, it's trick now. I was kind of saying what Heyman about when the Reigns transition, where it's like, you know, streaming is a safe thing to streaming because it's something isn't getting recorded in the same way, right? Like, what is a streaming hit? It's a screenability of that, whereas if your movie comes out in theaters and stuff is recorded all over the place, it's Sunday night, Monday morning, it's part of the mainstream news digestion at this point. I think for me, what I like is the idea of like trying to transition John from space a little bit more, probably within the genre space. I mean, he's done theatricals, obviously, but his power zone of late as a lead, right, has been in that streaming spot. And so it's just, I don't know, this stuff's all, it's a fascinating time to do it. And like, again, having gone from a position of like, I don't care if I ever make a movie again,
You're gonna
legitimately meant it, to now being like very busy is a trip. Good. So you gotta let it roll.
Good. That's good for you.
I do a quick PS on scores here for you.
Yeah.
What's the mood in Detroit like with the Tigers, since they're kind of like they're following the same path that the Lions did, and the Lions had the first round.
Okay, what they doing now? Shit.
With the Tigers right now because
They got me all in the dark and shit.
Baseball right now.
I believe there's a big difference. Let me tell you, the fundamental difference
Silly
between the
ass
Lions
game.
and the Tigers. This is not something you would have said 15 years ago.
Listen, yo.
The Lions ownership will spend money, right? They'll top 5 offense and by payroll and that. Like the Lions own Sheila the daughter.
Oh, okay, fine.
Horrible ownership.
That's it for me. Thank y'all for coming. ACW Storm tomorrow. Hopefully I got some good rest. That's a load.
The son,
I was seeing y'all.
If you watch this with Scooby,